Yo, what's up, guys? We're on the account of Cognis, and he told me he's having a bit of a premium arena offense. And sure, we have seen some premium arena offenses before with like Leo, Lucifer, Seraph kind of stuff. But then there's still that Leo in there, right? Well, he actually told me that he has a team of full LD5s, which is actually very strong. And this is the team right over here. And that looks like a powerhouse right there. And why is this that interesting? Well, actually for a few reasons. The main damage dealer is Tenonia, which is a unit that does require having more defense than the enemy, more attack than the enemy, and more speed than the enemy, and guaranteed crits in the process. But how do you get a attack buff, speed buff, defense buff, and then also outspeed, and then also strip, and then also death break, which is a lot of setups. I can't even handle that match on one hand. Well, how do we do that? We have the speed contesting in here, plus the attack buff seated over there. We have both the speed buff, the defense buff, and the strip seated over here. And then we have a pushback, increased cooltime, plus also death break seated over there. That is a powerhouse of a team. I'm not sure if it's full optimized to what he can do. Looking at these runes, he told me, he's like, this is not really optimized. I'm looking at these runes like, holy, that looks pretty optimized to me, brother. Like, that looks hella strong already. Maybe that this one, I could make the argument that you need to be maybe a little bit faster. No, wait, 27 on 24. The man has crazy runes as well. Is it also speed increase? Maybe you need some speed increase for that one, but maybe the boost is enough. Not 100% sure about that, but wow. I'm expecting, I'm not sure how good this will do against the Mortera, because Mortera is a little bit annoying, but I'm expecting quite a bit of a powerhouse offense on this. Wow, holy. So then we can do the boost. Then we can go for a death break plus a whole bunch of hits, actually. I'm not sure if you would take the turn right now. Doesn't even take the turn. That's how much the pushback is. Plus, this bar is completely full. That is how much the speed buff does actually work on this. How much damage are we dealing on this? Wait, we just did a crazy amount of setup to simply go for an AoE hit of like 70k? Well, if you have Theonian, just use this team. It's that simple. Just use this team. Okay, you can't use it into Leos. That's where we kind of draw the line. But wow, that is a lot of damage. Plus, against a lot of things, you also have the increased cooltime, which is really strong. Sure, you don't have the highest of rates of landing your strip. Sure, you don't have the highest of rates of landing your death break. Sure, you don't have the highest of rates of landing your increased cooltime. But all of it combined, like, look at that. That's already nearly dead. So in this case, yeah, good hit over there. We do nearly kill most of it. Did not fully kill over there. But since we're on speed buff for that many turns and we push back that hard, she just cuts as well. This is super, super strong, man. I wouldn't necessarily claim it the best/fastest offense in the game. Definitely not. But it's definitely a very fun and a very premium one. Like, I'm having fun with this one. Let me know in the comments, do you have a similar or really cool LD premium offense that you would like me to showcase? Let me know in the comments. Maybe there's more teams like this out there, but this is pretty much as premium as it gets for like just lining up 4 LD5s, cleaning up everything. It's definitely that the animations are super fast for arena rushing kind of things, but this is definitely the part where, damn, that's a good bit of damage. And yeah, you kind of need the speed buff, the defense buff, the attack buff, and everything for her to actually hit hard. I do think because of the defense buff and defense break, we're hitting the defense threshold, because the defense threshold is technically kind of the most difficult to hit, unless you have defense buff and death break, because defense buff will give you plus 70, defense break will give the enemy minus 70. So therefore the threshold on the defense is kind of solved by just getting the right runes in. Speed, we would definitely, I think in most cases, speed, because of the speed buff, we would tend to outspeed. Attack is definitely the easiest one out there. Crit damage is, well, that's a lot of crit damage right there. But yeah, that's, yeah, attack, because of the attack buff, should definitely be out stacking that in most cases as well. Speed, I'm not 100% sure. Maybe you should be aiming for a little bit more speed increasing effects, is what I could say, to also hit the threshold on actual speedy units such as Tritons and stuff. But then again, Tritons and stuff, they mostly don't have that much stats in the first place, so they tend to die anyways. Against Camilla's, it's kind of bad because we do have way too much hits in there itself. But I kind of just want to see, do you have an attack lead as well? No, I thought you had attack lead for a second. We do have attack power lead in this kind of shape or way. That's actually... that's one way too. I did not even know that thing had an attack lead in itself. But let's just see how this works against Camilla. So kind of expected that we don't really have anything to strip. We will definitely not land the... attack break on the Camillas because Camillas will shake that off, but I kind of just want to see like how well this will do in the first place. So we're definitely clearing left and right. That is pretty much a guaranteed 53k. Yep. Now for the cleanup. Is this a good team for cleanups? I am not too sure about that. Well, all of these units will hit fully at random because, well, no elements to work with. So that's simply the case. In this case, let's just go for an S1. Well, that's also the thing. Yeah, you don't really have good death break setup. So it's definitely not a great team against Camillas because Camillas will now be definitely annoying and sure we can do this, but... Oh, wait, you actually don't crit. That is true. I forgot about that for a second. So don't crit. Yeah, you're not critting that much on your other skills. So I'm not sure if you are having some damage in there. A little bit of damage in there as well. I could have maybe done the... Yeah, now we do have attack buff. We don't have the speed, but we're outspeeding regardless. 28k, yeah. The Camillas are definitely a little bit annoying, so you can't really hit double Camillas with this. Single Camilla is a little bit more doable, but double Camilla is definitely where I would say that's where it gets a little bit annoying, especially if they start focusing on this one. Did crit the right one, did crit both of them in this case. Yeah, Camillas, no go. Don't be hitting no Camillas. That's definitely one of those things. We gotta at least have one crazy long fight in there of trying to kill something, but that's also the point I don't really want to leave. Well, with this death break, Inosuke can still do a bit of damage himself as well. Cooldown increases. We take down the first. In the end, it is a good bruiser as well, because all of these units are somewhat tanky. Like, they're not full on damage, but I'm actually going to be trying one thing. What if we add the maximum amount of damage on this team? So let's do a little bit of re-runing, because this team, it does already work. I don't think you would have to change anything to it, because in most cases, you would just snipe everything regardless. But what if we put this thing to the test with maximum thresholds of adding in a lot of damage on this? Because I think we could maybe find a better set than the current set on this Tenonia. And maybe we can add some fight runes in some of the units, such as this one or that one. I still want to keep in will runes, just because will runes make it pretty nice, because some things could cut in here or there. Also, I do kind of want to hit this one just for fun. We can still do that with just the normal bolt, but I think that this actually does work, because we get the speed buff in and that kind of stuff. It could be an issue where we have simply too much coming in from... Nemming? Nope, not that much Nem. Also in this case, do we still lap? We get a little bit of a boost. Yeah, we are lapping TL lengths with this, which is definitely really nice to get like a good speed on that. Increase cooltime, increase cooltime! Yay! And everything is dead again, man. This team is so nice. This team, it's also just so fun. But let me actually put maximum amount of damage on this, and let's see how much we can work with some triple fight sets to get like a really big number out of that. Also, the cool thing on this team is like, he was okay with me showing the speed, but you're not outspeeding a 403 kind of speed. Like, these kind of things are not outspeeding 403, because you got 28 lead on a 120 base. That is crazy fast. Okay, so I did some swapping, and apparently this is the highest damage output I can get. So we're definitely upping the defense by a lot, which does make sense, because then we get defense scaling. Well, we already have the defense scaling, but therefore adding more defense to this unit is actually pretty good. And let's see if this actually does do a lot more damage or not. I also did upgrade the artifacts a little bit by putting speed in here and speed in there, because we have speed buff and we're also speed scaling on the skill 3 itself. So that is definitely one of those things that, yeah, we're just having a lot of things in there. Because keep in mind that this skill is the moment that you have more speed, your speed scaling. The moment you have more defense, your defense scaling. The moment you have more attack, your attack scaling. Well, you already have attack scaling, but you're crit damaging always. So you have 3 types of scaling in this skill right away. So let's see if this is going to do a little bit more. Also, we do have some fight sets in here right now. Some fight sets right now, so that might also be one of those things that just add a little bit more damage right there. So let's see how much we can do with all of that. It is good that we're additional damage artifacts on this one right there. Because of that, we can remove shields a little bit easier. In this case, we will miss on the strip on one unit, so that's definitely not gonna die. This already still on the fight rune still does a lot of damage. So how much damage are we dealing over here right now? Still about 60-ish K on those kind of units, but also if there's no death break right now, we can still guaranteed to get the death scaling on the units, which is also really a nice thing. So we would add a little bit more damage on that. We did lose a little bit of HP for it, so it's maybe not the safest of routes out there. But I do kind of want to see if we can actually get some higher numbers on the damage output with this, because I think its death scaling is not that bad as well. Issue is on Swar Farm and any of the sites where we do like the data mining for getting any of those multipliers. It just only shows the attack multiplier, so I can't really, I don't know what the other multipliers are outside of the attack multiplier. So that's a little bit too bad that we cannot see them. But let's just see what kind of numbers we can get on that. His animation is crazy long as well, by the way. But look at how much damage we already did before this thing even moves. Yeah, maybe it actually might be that this is slightly less damage. Interesting. I think that this should actually do more damage rather than less damage. Because now we're focusing more on all of the scaling parts rather than just purely focusing on attack. But maybe attack scaling in itself is the highest part of this unit. Also, I don't think that there's pretty much any unit that would survive any hits similar like that. Like even if we go for this, we could miss the death break, but if we increase cooltime, it's still definitely fine. Plus, what's also really cool about this team is like, oh, they are slower. Sure, let me switch the lead, and then we're just good to go on this. Like, this is one of those one-trick pony teams that kills about everything out there outside of Camilla's, pretty much. Because you tend to outspeed nearly everything. Also, if you miss any strips, it's just not that big, or you miss any death breaks, it's just not that big an issue with this whole team. I think we can take this out, can we not? Nope. Your S3 is still non-existing. That's definitely one of those issues for you out there. That S3 is just non-existing. I think someone pulled an LD5 over here. Just this. Pretty strong unit as well. It's like Nefties, but a little bit different. But definitely a very strong unit right there. But this team is insane, man. Like, all units are kind of semi-tanky as well. Well, this one is also... I lost HP, but I gained more defense. So I think by effective HP, I probably have more effective HP than it was before. Someone is kind of capping with top 5 unit at the moment. I wouldn't necessarily say top 5 unit, but definitely a unit. Well, I haven't seen it too much in RTA for the Light Justice, but Light Justice, definitely a strong unit, but he's kind of capping with calling it a top 5. I don't see it enough being used for it being top 5. Like, it's just a simple fact. If it's not used that much, it cannot be top 5. Otherwise, it will be used more, right? That's just simple facts out there. A little bit of lag spike, but also a yeet. Hula hoop in your face, beach. Too bad that this thing procced a little. So clearing this thing, if we did not land it on the first hit, is a little bit bad. Also for you, if you don't put things to full HP, you're actually not giving what's it called? You're not giving attack bar, which kind of sucks. I think that this thing should always give the attack bar regardless of how much HP you healed or not, or anything. But yeah, we're hitting a lot, man. We're definitely hitting a lot. Technically, I could say we could hit this as well, but it's definitely not as great if the Leo decides to hit the wrong target, which is actually not on will, which there are a few targets that are not on will. I'm curious to see if you can actually hit this, because yes, Kai is annoying, but, well, it would be better if in this case also all units would be willed, and in this case we have the Woolyong not on will. But it does give the multiple buffs where you have more issues in stripping things, which makes that a lot safer. Plus, we have this skill coming in later. Wait, did it actually... Oh, it stripped that. Yeah, okay. That's not great. It stripped the attack buff and we have speed increasing on you. So therefore, the turn order is wrong. I think for that reason, we should start off with an S2. Very good right there. If we land this on the left side, that's the most important, that we land this on the Panthers. Did increase on the Panthers, did increase cooldown on the Panthers as well. He does get his skill off though. Doesn't land that much, it seems, but we do get Death Broken. But we stun everything, well, nearly everything. Okay, I kind of want to see how much damage this S3 does right now with Death Break and, yeah, just pretty much removing all scalings out there. We still crit though. Yeah, that's definitely where you can see is like, you need all of the scalings out there to actually make this thing hit pretty decent. Otherwise, no damage for you. Also, the skill 1 and the skill 2, while skill 2 is nice for the death break, skill 1 is definitely a little bit bad. But I'm liking this team. Would I use it for Arena Rush? Probably not really, but I would definitely see a world where you just put something like this on your arena defense for midweek, and it's just super fun. And this is also like a nice way to have one team runed up for arena offense during midweek, and then just be able to clear nearly everything with just one offense without having to put too much thoughts to like, oh, can I hit this? Can I hit that? I can auto it, but it's kind of slow. This team just clears everything. But then again, it's maybe also a little bit premium. Just a little bit premium. But hey, that's what this video is about, and that's what we like to showcase from time to time as well. It's like how premium can things get the moment we do actually go pretty premium. So if you have any team that you would like me to showcase that is maybe as premium as this, maybe it's like a different kind of scenario, maybe it's even free-to-play units that no one has ever seen that much, but that is definitely a very nasty team right there. And also his defense, definitely very nasty. And I did also spot, he also has a Dark Gojo. He has all the nasty stuff. That's just true statement right there. Well, guys, thanks a lot for watching for this one. See you as always in the next one. Thanks for watching. If you would like to see more guides, join the Discord and check out the content tab for the guide video archive, which contains all of the guides that you might need. Hope to see you there.